Hi, I'm Kili, also known as Kelly.
And I'm Feely, also known as Alex.
Welcome to our corner of the Shire,
Where we will show you how to bring Middle Earth
into your daily life to keep you
a happy hobbit.
Welcome to this episode of Happy Hobbit. Today, you are joining me on a culinary adventure upon which I have never before embarked. Which shouldn't be a surprise to our longtime viewers because often we're filming the very first time we attempt one of these things. Today, I am more or less making up a recipe by combining several different recipes because I want to make cute little Hobbit-sized individual pies. So as you can see, I've got a little pie tin. This is about 4.5 inches wide, and I lined it with some foil because I wanted to make extra sure that I can pull the pies out of the little tins once they have finished baking. So the reason that I am making these little pies today is because I have an unexpected, wonderfully exciting amount of fresh blackberries. It's May, early May, and Bard and I were on a hike that was a bit more of an adventure. The trail we were on was quite overgrown, unfortunately, with a lot of poison oak, so we felt like we were dodging the enemy the whole time. And we went up a mountainside and came down, and as we came down, he said, "Hey, look, blackberries." And sure enough, there were ripe blackberries. I don't know how the wild berries grow where you live, but where we live, they're usually not ripe till July at the earliest. And they ripen through July, August, sometimes into September, depending on how the start of the summer was. So it was a mind-blowing shock. And in true Hobbit style, we just got really excited and we started picking blackberries. In fact, we decided they were fairy berries because it just felt like something out of a folktale to stumble upon this wealth of food that shouldn't be there. And we each cautiously ate a berry because we're like, what's wrong? What's gonna happen to us? So suffice it to say that we felt like we were hobbits finding, instead of a shortcut to mushrooms, a shortcut to berries. So we took whatever containers we happened to have in our backpack and we filled them with berries and we brought them home. And tomorrow we are going on an adventure with a friend, and so I am baking these adorable little Hobbit pies to bring as our dessert. So let's hope they turn out. Here are 4.5 cups of absolutely beautiful, bizarrely, perfectly ripe blackberries. And that's the oven preheat done. So they are a little small, but I'm excited to see how this recipe turns out. The first thing I'm going to do is make the berry pie mixture. So I measured these out last night and it turns out I have 4 cups in here. See, they're not super juicy. And 1/2 cup in here, and since that's what I have, that's what I'm going to use. So you add those with 2/3 of a cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of flour, and 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Actually, I probably should have mixed all that up ahead of time. Right now it looks like this really cute art piece or something. Isn't that cute? I think it's cute. So now, just gonna mix it all up, and the point of doing this is to coat the berries with the sugar and with that little bit of spice, and then the only real point of the flour is to act as a thickener. so that if you do have really juicy berries, it will help absorb some of the juice so that you don't have a soggy bottom pie. Now that said, there are other products you can get. I've tried the instant clear gel from King Arthur Flour. I'm not sure what's in it, but it does work really well so that when you bake a pie and cut into it, even when it's warm, it will hold its shape instead of like the filling just going and splattering out everywhere like a Mount Doom eruption. Wow, these are really like non-juicy berries. What I'm doing right now is I've got unsalted butter fresh out of the fridge, so it's still cold, and I'm just quickly cutting it into pieces because I'm going to use my old nemesis, the food processor, to make the pie crust. Now, I want to say, I feel like the food processor and I have reached some sort of agreement / truce because things have been going pretty well lately and we've become a good team. So to make a pie crust using a food processor, to me it makes the process really simple. I have 2 2/3 cup flour. Actually, first I need to make sure I have this on the right way. I don't. I can't tell you how many times I've made that mistake. That's on me, not on the food processor. I shouldn't be gesturing toward myself with a blade that's razor sharp. Don't mess with these blades. They're scary. Okay. Nope, that's still not right. There we go. So as I was saying, you add the flour, and then 1 teaspoon of salt. Oh, apparently that dish was kind of wet. Teaspoon of salt. The shortening plus cold water. So the shortening in this case is going to be this butter. I'm just going to more evenly distribute that. Thankfully, Mischief, our warg, is taking a nap. If she wasn't, she would let you know all about this because she really doesn't... I don't know if it's that she doesn't like the food processor or that she thinks it's up to something, but as soon as I power it on, she runs up barking. Like, that's illegal, that shouldn't be happening. I don't necessarily disagree with her, but still timed it so that she was asleep. Okay, let's see if I did everything right. Plugging it in would be a good... Oh no, it is plugged in. Okay, I'm not that bad. Let's see. Okay, so, let's see. What did I do wrong? Let's see if it works. Oh my gosh, what am I doing wrong? It's plugged in. Like, there's no other way for it to... I'm gonna stop it? Wait, I think I have it. That all happened because I made such a big deal about how we're having a truce and we're getting along now. I'm just gonna add a little bit more butter. And you're gonna keep pulsing it until this mixture forms like little granules, like little pea-sized bits. Then usually it's soft enough for you to pat it into a dough. I'll bet I was supposed to push it back. So that's 4. I don't know what is going on in there. Add another, that's 5-ish. Maybe it's done. I don't know. There's still, because there's still like, I can feel chunks of butter in there. I'm gonna try pulsing it and then, but I just don't want to overwork it. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna try it. Okay, so I'm gonna test how done it is. Seeing as the food processor decided to assert itself and make it clear that we aren't 100% cool, apparently. I thought I was being really respectful, telling people to avoid the blades and stuff, but I don't know. Okay, so I don't usually stand at the cutting board at this angle. I'm usually standing directly in front of it, but for filming purposes, Bart is backed into a corner of our small kitchen. You know what? Who cares if there's a little bit of, like a buttery patch? It's just gonna make it taste better, isn't it? Yeah, this is like, this looks good. So this is actually a recipe for a 11-inch pie crust, because that's the size of the the size of the glass baking pan we have that I usually use for our big Thanksgiving pie. However, I wanted to have more dough than less doing this new recipe, so I thought, listen, if it does turn out to be more dough than I need, who cares? I'll use it, but I'd rather have extra than not have enough. It's definitely a good chunk of dough. Actually, you know what? I should do it in halves. That would be the smart thing to do. Make this into a ball-ish. Put it there for the moment. Now there's all kinds of rules with pie crust that I don't really follow, like you have to keep the butter the right temperature and the water has to be icy cold because you don't want the butter to get warmed up or you get sticky dough, and like I'm just not that good at following rules in that way. I just kind of want to get it done. So you're looking to get this into a 1/4 inch consistency if you can, in terms of the thickness. I'm not being very careful with the shape because it's going to be, I hope this is enough. Maybe I'm going to have to make another batch. Okay, so I'm going to take the one you did because yours looks really nice and tidy. Like that. Because It's more than just the circumference. It's gonna have to go in. I can't just cut a circle. In fact, that feels too thick in the middle. I feel like so much of baking is just acquired knowledge from doing it so many times. It is easier when I'm not under pressure for filming. Okay. If you were to go into that little pie dish. Oh. Oh boy. Okay. Now I can take my knife. I don't know how else to go about this. I used these pie tins at least once before. I made a bunch of little individual chicken pot pies and bread to celebrate a long time ago when we heard the news that not only were we getting 2 Hobbit films, but we were getting 3. So we had a celebratory Hobbity dinner. I'm just trying to do some tidying up here. I think that looks pretty good for the base. I'm just tucking in and kind of crimping the edges. Then I'll fill it and I guess put on a top crust. I'm definitely gonna need more crust. That's okay. I'm going to spoon some of this berry mixture into my little tart pan. These are actually kind of big. And if you want to, you can dot that with butter. Okay. No, I don't think I will because I don't think we have enough butter for me to do that as well. But what I am going to do is take this little oak leaf cookie cutter, cut a hole in the middle of what I'm trying to use as the top crust. Drape that over. Cut off the excess crust. And then you sort of just crimp the sides. So all I'm really doing is, with my fingers, I'm just feeling where the bottom crust is, and I'm pressing the two of these together right now. And then on my second pass, I'll try to make it look a little nicer. I mean, these are going to be rustic. That's true Hobbit style, I think. And if you want to, you can make a little egg wash. Put that on the top. Sprinkle some big sugar chunks. I'm far from a professional baker, but that looks okay, right? Hopefully it'll look okay when it comes out of the oven too. It's cute. So now I ended up with 5. I was actually right. I'm shocked. I had just enough dough and just enough berries. This one needed a little touch-up job. Some of them I double-checked our stores and we did have enough butter. So some of them do have a little bit of butter in them. Other ones don't, because the first one I made, as you saw, doesn't. I'm not quite sure what it does other than add some richness to the innards. But what I'm going to do is just, instead of making an egg wash, I'm just going to brush them with a little bit of milk. What I probably should do is line the edges of the crust with some foil, but I really don't want to go to all that effort right now. Look, the first one I did looks so cute. I want to eat that one. So instead I'm just going to keep a careful eye on them and see if they look like they're starting to brown. Smaug's oven is preheated, so it's at 450 already. And I'm going to bake them at 450 for 10 minutes and then drop the temperature down by 100 degrees Fahrenheit to 350. So now I'm just sprinkling on some sugar, just to give them a little added kick. I keep meaning to get my hoppity hands on some of like the sugar that's chunky. I just haven't done it yet, but it's great for baking things like this. There's an intruder. Did you just rob Bilbo? Wasn't me, I swear! Well, that was a little sus. Looked like Feely's been rummaging around Bilbo's house again. He was probably having a yard sale though. He likes to do those. Declutter, spread the love, free. I stole Bilbo's Target shopping. She stole Bilbo's Target shopping? Alright, we're gonna put them in the oven for 10 minutes. At 450. Woo! Smaug is cooking. And then we'll check and see what they look like. It has been just over 30 minutes at the lower temperature, so I'm going to turn off the oven. Oh, and take out my little pies. You know, they're definitely not Instagram worthy because they don't look absolutely perfect. Look at them bubbling. They're definitely done, and you can tell by the color of the crust. You want it to be that nice, rich, golden brown, not necessarily black. So I made an okay call by not putting foil around the edges. But you know what? This is reality, folks. This is what real stuff looks like, okay? It's not all the cutesy things you see online. These are probably going to taste really good too.
And just builds this big cemetery of artists' renders and starts having these rituals to bury these characters.
Ooh.
Yeah, to do it alone.
Oh, you wrote it. So they dictated it to you. I believe it though, because even our local weather guy, that's like his whole thing. To chase tornadoes. And so anytime there's like a tornado in the area, he's off trying to find it. hear it. Oh yeah, I love that too. Thank you so much for joining us on our pie baking hike adventure. And I hope that this episode has left you a happy Hobbit. And if it has, do the YouTube thing of liking and subscribing and all that stuff that I'm supposed to say all the time, but don't. So thank you so much and see you next time. And yeah. Let me get a spoon. Without destroying the kitchen. They look really cool. They look like a sour candy. Do you want to try one? I'm gonna try one. Oh my god, it's so good. It really is like candy. Mmm. Okay, you can stop.
It stopped on us. Is it?
No, it's still going.
Press that?
Yeah. It's fine. You can do it. I'm in between. You made me forget when I come in your room. No. Something in the fridge? No. No. Oh, no. Okay. I swear!
I swear!
You can stop filming. Could you see her when she came in? That's okay.
Can I stop it?
Yeah, maybe move over here because then I'm just gonna put them in the middle. Do you want to try one?
I'll let you get it now.
Uh-oh, it's recording now.
Uh-oh.
Did I just hit that button?
I don't know.
I might have just hit it. And it's zooming in and out.
Better check what happened.
Thanks for filming.